Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. Wow, it's Monday. It is hot in Colorado. I get it. Nothing like Texas, nothing like Arizona, nothing like so many other states. I'm not used to triple digits. It just, whoa. Have I done it before? Yes, I've been to Texas. I've been to Arizona. I've been to Georgia in midsummer where literally the cinder block walls of the inside military, inside of the barracks was dripping. It was sweating. So I've definitely been in heat. Not a big fan. Anyway, I've been melting. Holy cow. I have been melting all weekend long. I did get to stay inside a bunch. I went outside a bunch too. That's why I was melting. But the time that I was inside, I got to do a lot of crafting. And those of you who've been around the channel for a while, you know I do a lot of my crafting from Friday to Sunday. I do have a day job, right? You know, it's like, I do have that. It pays for all of my fun stuff. So I had a very, very productive week this week. And Mondays is where we show all that stuff off, right? It's my show and tell. And it's when I get ready for my Monday video, I'm gathering everything up and everything, and I'm putting it all around me, and it's in this mountain like right off the screen that you can't see, that's about ready to topple and attack me. That type of a mountain. And I gather all that stuff up and say, see, this is what I did. And sometimes it surprises me. This week, it surprised me. I had everything in there, and then I forgot one of the items, which was sitting already by my chair. I'm like, oh, I forgot about that one. So we're going to show everything. And having a blast. No kidding. Did you guys get a chance to see? I went live again. I don't do lives very often because, well, I just don't. I like to. I love them. Once I get on a live, I don't shut up. But then again, I'm talking about yarn and knitting and crocheting and crafting. And it's no different than right now, only I get to interact, right? That's the only difference. I sewed together the Hippo Lovey, the long-awaited Hippo Lovey that I started in February. The baby that this is going to was born the 31st of March, little preemie, Noah, and he's just perfect. And then this little hippo, you get to watch me sew that thing together and my unorthodox way of sewing things together. The pattern, beautiful. Hippo comforter is what it's called. Very misleading with the name because when you think comforter, you're thinking a blanket, but it is a lovey made with fingering weight yarn. Making the doily portion was a blast. Absolute fantastic. There's nothing wrong with the amigurumi portions, but with me, personally, because we all have our own preferences, if I don't gut through an amigurumi, just make it from start to finish, there's a chance it's not going to get done. You see this head here? Layla is 10 years old. Layla is a head. At this point, she's the mascot. I love her just the way she is, so she's going to stay that way. And I'm afraid, my husband keeps telling me I need to finish her. But I'm afraid if I finish her, she might run away. You know, somebody else might take her. And being that I do have a series where I'm going back and finishing old projects, she's only 10 years old. I finished one project, a pair of socks, that was 19 years old. Yeah, no kidding, 19 years. That's multiple moves, multiple house moves. Still had it, kept it, and finished it this year. So, you know, never say never is a good way to put it. But all of your love and encouragement, okay, the little poking me and everything in the comments going, hey, we haven't seen the hippo in a while. Did you do the hippo? Yeah, that really did help. It really did. I definitely say it tongue in cheek because I think it's hilarious. You guys call me out, and part of it you're calling me out, not negative. That sounds negative, but not negative. Part of it you'll do that, and the other part you're no kidding reminding me. I work on so many things and have such a blast doing it. I'm like, oh, shiny, look, I got new yarn, right? And I'm off on another tangent. So sometimes you guys just bring me back in. Like some of the comments as soon as I got this done was, hey, what about the cat's meow blanket? I forgot. I completely forgot about it. It's not done. It's headless. My cat's meow blanket is headless. So it's going to have to make an appearance again. It just is. But I forgot about it. There are things I just literally forget about because there's so many other fun things that I'm working on. I've always got my hands busy and I'm always making fun stuff. So this, so happy to have this off my plate because this one was one that a lot of you really, really wanted to see me finish, and especially since the baby's born. It was one thing when he wasn't born yet, but he's here. He needs his lovey. And this was one that was very popular and very much a favorite. So thank you everybody for encouraging me in such a nice manner and really getting me to, you know, get off my lazy backside and sew it together, because it had been done for a while. All the pieces, I had all the pieces and parts sitting there ready to be sewn together. It wasn't that difficult at all. So there, you know, there we go. Thank you. Team effort. Oh my goodness, team effort. Another project that I finished this week, and I am so absolutely thrilled with it, is the Phoebe Mouse. She is adorable. I got to meet the author of said pattern and the book writer, and that is Joanna. I don't think it's Joanna or Joanna, but Joanna Johnson. Here, let's see if we can get a better view of that without the ringlet. There we go. So that's what this is, and this is the Phoebe Mouse, and the book is Phoebe's Sweater. Now, her and her husband have written 4 children's books, and in the children's book, there are knitting patterns that you can make, which I did. This is Phoebe Mouse. You can make the cute little sweater. See, here's the sweater. You can make the sweater for the mouse and for your child. So that's the same one right there. It's a hooded sweater. Isn't that beautiful? And that's out of bulky weight yarn. So if you want something that's quicker, that is it. This is Slate Falls Press is who puts this out. That's their company. You can get them on Etsy. I know she has had these on sale for 25% off. I paid at Estes Park $20 a book. For the books, and they're considerably less than that, right? Or they were on Etsy. I don't know how long the sale is. I'm not affiliated. I just thought they were great, so I got all 4 of them. I got 3 of them at the show, and I ordered the other one, and it's on its way. I ordered the other one on Etsy. It's on its way. So fun stuff. But if you do find that, hey, I think those knitting patterns are really great, but I have no need for the children's book, Joanna has 91 patterns listed on Ravelry. So you can get the individual pattern that you're interested in. You can buy the ebook, which is all the patterns for this particular book. There's lots of different ways to do that. I'll link those down below if you're interested. I thought this was so much fun to make. So the other part that was really neat is I did get to meet her and her husband Eric at the show, and they had yarn support at the shows. They don't have that on their Etsy channel right now, or Etsy page right now. I think that once all the shows are done, they'll put it on there in the November time period. But let's face it, we're crafters. We have yarn. We can make it happen. So there's no issues with that. The dress can come off, and it is made in one piece. There are no buttons and there's no sewing, which is fabulous, just fabulous. And I realized I didn't show you what she looks like without her clothes on. And because you know what? I'm going to give this to my granddaughter. Most likely it's going to go to the 2-year-old. And within 5 minutes of her having it, the doll's going to look like this, because she strips everything, because that's what kids do. They take all the clothes off. They immediately, that's like the first thing that they do. So here's the cute little dress in all of its glory. And you can do them in any colors, obviously any color you want to. You can do, if you're doing it with scraps, do this part with one color, do the bottom band with the same color, and the rest of this with any color you want to. And if you're practicing with doing Fair Isle or color work, this would be perfect. Because all you would do is take one little motif that you have in one of your books, whether you bought the doodle book or any other color work thing, just a tiny little geometric shape, and go down at the bottom. That's it. It's great for practicing. It's small, it's quick, it's easy, and it can really add something special to something you're already making. So I think that's perfect. But look at this. Look at the doll. There's no sewing on this. Nothing. So it wasn't going to end up like my poor little hippo, which has been done for months, and I just refused to sew it together. So there's no sewing on this. Well, okay, tiny bit of sewing. You sew the ears on. All right, there's the ears on, and you do the embroidery. But what I'm referring to by no sewing is you start at the head, you decrease down for the neck, you increase up for the body, you make holes, right? You're binding off for the arms, for the armholes, continue at the body, you do the holes again for the legs, you do a Kitchener stitch to put the little butt in there. And this is knit on, the tail is knit on. And then you pick up stitches around the edge, so you knit that out. And the cool thing about that is you don't have issues of, oh, look, my arms and legs are in the wrong spot. Okay, if you saw my video where I sewed this together, you know what I'm getting at. I don't do all the pinning down like I should and take my time. So have I gotten things, you know, a little too far to the front, a little too far to the back? You bet I have. It's just how that works. That's all there is to it. But this is absolutely adorable. I am so thrilled to have this one finished. And I know my next one, oh yeah, I'm gonna make the other one. I'm gonna make the platypus next. I'm really excited about that. So this is what I got finished. And let's see, do I have the book here? Where's my platypus one? No, I've got Henry's hat. That's got the chipmunk in it. That's Henry's hat. Where's the platypus one? Okay, it's not sitting right here, or if it is, it's buried. Well, anyway, these are two of my books. And I do have the platypus is the next one that I want to make. And then I also have the yarn support to do this one right here, the chipmunk. Let's see, do we have a picture? Yeah. In the back, you can see him holding a chipmunk. And this one has the pattern for it, for the chipmunk, the stuffed chipmunk, and the sweater, the kid's sweater that they're wearing. I just thought it was just fabulous. Husband and wife team doing this, working together, and I love to see that. Absolutely love to see that. Small business, small mom and pop business, not a big corporation, not a big conglomerate. And, you know, that just makes me so happy. It just makes me happy. So that's my second thing that I got done this week. Or I don't know what order, but I got two things done. So here's the third. And I know you probably already saw these at least once or twice. There's the cute little knit baby shoes, Converse. Hubby wants me to put like a little Nike swoosh on the side, or the Converse symbol, which I guess that's the circle and then the little star. I'm probably going to do that. My goal, since we do have another grandbaby in the works, doing a debut sometime in 2026. We don't know the birth date yet. But I want to make, my goal is to have a box at Christmas time for the mommy, because what she wanted with the baby booties, a lot of different baby booties. And I just have it in my head that I can do at least 6 pair, which is really quite aggressive for me because I don't like making baby booties. I think they're adorable. I think they are the cutest things. These are so sweet, but they're not super fun for me. They're just not. We all have our things. We have our preferences. I love the way they look. I love all of them that I have ever made. I think they look great, except for the ones that I make where one foot's bigger than the other, because that's how I have it with baby booties. I swear I will make them. I'll make them back to back, and one is definitely bigger than the other. That's the thing I don't like about them. Or the sizing. This says 0 to 6 months. I don't know. It'll fit sooner or later, right? 2 years old? I don't know. I did use the worsted weight yarn they said. I did use the needle size that they said. I did not gauge. We know that. I did not gauge. But I did know worsted weight and everything. Don't make the 6 to 12 month size. I'm not sure which kid it would fit, right? Just so there you have it. But that is my goal, is to make at least half a dozen pair. My first thought was 12, make a dozen. And then I thought, that's insane. That's crazy. You don't like making these. Don't commit to that. Have I told mommy this? Oh gosh, no. Oh no, 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 no. If I have 2 or 3 pair and put them in a box and everything and give them to her at Christmas time or the baby shower or whatever, good. That's wonderful. And then it's also been suggested for this that I do like a baseball cap or like a little jersey. We don't know boy or girl. So, you know, that was one of the wedding colors right here. So we don't know boy or girl. That to me is unisex. It's not like I'm doing it in baby pink or baby blue or what have you. They're traditional boy or girl colors. That's a unisex one. But doing a jersey or like a baseball cap, and I love that idea. So if you have any patterns that are your favorites that you can think of that would fit along that line, knit or crochet, because I can do either one, doesn't matter to me, share. I mean, that's what we do here. We share. We find pretty things and we share. That's my goal. I find pretty and I share. All there is to it, right? So those are the 3 things that I got done this week. And I'm pretty proud of myself. That's pretty aggressive. The hippo was a gut check. Thank you guys for helping me to get that done. Phoebe was so cute. She just flew off the needles, I swear. She flew off the needles. She was adorable. And This was a gut check because my love of making booties was a gut check, and important because sometimes we just have to gut through things, right? Because it's adorable and it will make mommy so happy. And I want to make mommy really happy, right? I mean, that's what we do a lot of times with our crafting and everything. We'll get to something that maybe we're working on it and we love it. We absolutely love it. And maybe about halfway or 3/4 through and we're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to touch it. That's the gut check. That's where that one comes in. So that's what that was. Those are my finished projects. And now we're going to look at some of the things that I have in progress. Want to see the one that I forgot about, which is really crazy because I think I just showed that, is this. I'm like, oh yeah, I did work on that sweater, didn't I? Yes, you did. You finished a sleeve and started a second sleeve. That is definitely working on the sweater. So this is one of my many sweaters. And I think I saw that I started this in October of 2024. Because, well, you know, other things come along. They just do. And they take precedent. And I'm loving the bell sleeve. The bell sleeve on this makes me happy. It absolutely makes me happy. And I had already decided I was not worried about trying to do that's my, where I held the sleeves, trying to match up the colors. And here we are. Now, I might have been able to, if I would have wanted to cut all of this purple out, if I would have thought about it, but I don't care. It's going to be beautiful. This is what I have left. This is a mohair blend yarn. This is Big Twist, Joanne Big Twist Boho. I don't know if anyone's taken that one up. Joanne yarn has just been scattered everywhere. Joanne did not care who she sold to, okay? Joanne was a little promiscuous, right? She just went around. She's got Michael, she's got Hirschner, she went to Mary Maxim. We saw some cotton. Erin from Crafting Kitty showed me that Annie's Attic had some of the KNC 24/7 cotton, which was a Joanne exclusive. I mean, Joanne just scattered everywhere. She was not picky. So that's what that is. One of the things that's similar, almost the same thing, is this, and this is ice yarn, and it is called Mohair Magic Glitz. The composition was very similar but not exact. This one is 20% mohair, 20% wool, 57% acrylic, and 3% metallic because it has the sparklies in it. This is a very similar blend, didn't have the metallic, right? No sparklies. Very similar blend, same yardage. They were both, what is it, 590 yards? I think that's about what it was, and made in Turkey for the 100 grams. So if you're wanting something that's similar to this brand, go to Ice Yarns and look for it. I don't know if they still have it or not because I'm not on the Ice Yarn site a lot, but that is a similar yarn to this if you're looking for a dupe. So there you have it. That's that one right there. Yeah. I'm coming up in my room. I'm like, oh yeah, I did work on that as I went to my notebook. Oh, I wrote in my notebook this week. I know, it's crazy. I did it. I did. And let's see. We've got, oh, you want to see the socks? Should we do the socks first? We know I worked on my sweater, the Refracta sweater. I had the socks. This yarn, gorgeous. Look at this. I finished a sock. This is a finished toe sock. This is the right foot. Here we go. The right foot with the toes. I haven't done all the ends in. I'll wait until I get both socks done. Make sure that they fit my husband. He has tried this on. He loves it. He's all excited. But make sure that it fits properly, and then I'll weave in all the ends. So right now it just looks a bit crazy. But here we go. Here's his split. So his ninja socks. So if you've heard me say the toe socks, the ninja socks, Tabi socks. Yeah, flip-flop socks. That's what these are. He loves them. Absolutely loves them. And he swears that it is something that I have done annually for quite a few years. I'm like, no. I do socks. You don't get annual toe socks. So he's telling me that he's going to pull out all of his toe socks and show me his pile of toe socks. And he might be right. We're going to see. So that'll be another, when he pulls those out and hands them to me, that'll be another episode. We'll see what he really has. This yarn, stunning. First time for me working with it. This is yarn that I picked up at the Estes Market Wool Festival. Same thing, that I picked up Phoebe, right? With her. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. And this is Blackbird Sycamore yarn. They are an Etsy shop. She is out of, her and her husband, wonderful couple, and they are out of Wyoming, and they do the hand-dyed yarns. And for some reason, she keeps selling out of this colorway, Blood of My Enemies. I mean, is that not the coolest thing ever? This was when we were in her booth. This is what hubby picked up, and he's like, I want this. I want this as toe socks. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. No, I have plenty of sock yarn. I don't want to make toe socks. Well, you see who won. You see who won. I can go ahead and push back. Okay, we see, and we see that they're on the needles, right? I mean, well, this one's not even on the needles, right? It's done. It's done. I got to cast on the next one. Got to do that before I like change gauge or something. But his is finished, and the color is gorgeous. First time working with this particular yarn, the Blackbird Sycamore yarn, Blood of My Enemies, and contemplated getting another skein. Absolutely love this. Love the way that it's working up. I know that if I go out to Etsy and she's sold out of this color, all I have to do is just to go to, I think it's on like the 4th page of her stuff. She has one of the skeins that's dyed to order, and you just put in there that that's the colorway that you want, is Blood of My Enemies, and she'll go ahead and dye it, because that's what hand dyers do. They make pretty yarn, right? And so if you tell them what color that you want, they'll make you pretty yarn. So I know that's the case. I didn't order another skein of this yet, but I did order one of her other colors that I have been drooling over. So when that comes in, I will show you that one. And yeah, all excited, right? Because I obviously needed more yarn. Why couldn't I work with something that I already had? Who knows? I'm just working with all the stuff that I got from Estes. And does the new skein that hasn't come in yet that I just ordered, will that count as working on stuff from Estes? I mean, I wouldn't have seen her and known about the yarn if I hadn't gone to Estes Wool Festival the 7th of June, right? I mean, that's how that worked. I mean, I've heard of Blackbird Sycamore. I keep saying it wrong. Blackbird Sycamore. I've heard of it before, but this is my first time having any and touching it and holding it. Oh, and at the end of the year, I'm gonna have a whole bunch more of it because I bought her advent calendar. How cool is that? I don't think that one's listed on Etsy yet. It's on her Instagram, so if you go to her Instagram, you can definitely order it if you choose to. But on her Etsy, she's gonna list that in July sometime period, something like timing and what have you, but that's her business. But yeah, lots of different ways. But I ordered that, so I have 2 separate advent calendars that I will be opening at the end of the year. Very exciting. So I will get to play with a bunch of other colors that she has, and thrilled to have gotten that. Here we go. Got the toes done. Isn't that cool? It looks pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah, did a good job. Well, I think so. He likes them. So we got that. And then the other pair of socks that I'm working on, let the sweater go. There we go. Let the sweater go. Is this from the Darn Good Yarns, because I got 2 of these at the thrift store. They were $4 each. This one says $6, but they gave them both to me for $4 each. And okay, it's part of a Sock of the Month club. Well, I went out to Darn Good Yarns and I did check it out, and the Sock of the Month club is no longer a thing with them. But I was still curious. I mean, $4 for a pair of socks? Yes, please. I would like that. It's already wound up in this cute little ball. It's ready. Let's go play. Well, after I got it home, I mean, I would have bought it anyway, but after I got it home, I realized they're 30-gram little balls of yarn. That's not a lot of yarn. And they do say on there that they were originally $30. Look at that. Is it going to come in clear? No, it's not. Of course it's not. Why would it do that? But it's originally marked as $30. Now, if you ever got one of these and you were part of the Darn Good Yarn Sock of the Month Club, could you tell me, was it really $30? Because we know, like, a lot of companies will put prices on things, and I mean, they'll take your money, right? If you want to pay that, they'll take your money, but they're perpetually on sale. And they're always, even Joann Fabric was that, right? We know Joann had a lot of sales, and we would buy the yarn at the sale prices. And that's why when they were going out of business and everything was 25% off, us, you know, hoarders were like, that's nothing. Wait, you got to get down farther, because they were constantly on really, really big sales. So I'm curious, was that ever an expected $30 box set of yarn? And I don't know. And I do know if I would have gotten that and that's what it was, I don't think I would be happy with it. I mean, maybe, maybe not. Here's my ball that I'm working on. Here's my sock. And because it's such a, I love the stripes. I like the way that it feels. I like the way that it's working up. Nothing against the yarn at all. I have no complaints at all. The only thing that I was commenting on is they're just the 30 grams. I'm using difference for the cuff, for the heel. I just started the heel, and I would like it to be longer, but being that I have this much left, I'm gonna try to make this for my oldest son, who has a size 13 feet. I definitely need to have extra space with here, extra space with the black there, and then longer on the toe. So I think I'm gonna use every last yard of this. Yeah, cast on 72 stitches using size 1 2¼ millimeter needles. That is what I've got going on here. Nothing bad on the yarn, absolutely nothing. If you've used this yarn, yeah, I don't have any issues with it at all. I wouldn't have a problem getting more of it. I mean, obviously I got it at a thrift store, and you know, that's just as other people sell things, or not sell, but donate things to the thrift store. But I do have the 2 sets. So here's this one. And then I've got this pretty colorway right here. Did I open it? Did I? I did. Here, let's see. And I've got this pretty colorway right here. And it's striped all the way through. It is just a stripe all the way through. And you know, they've got little crochet footies and then the full-size socks. But you've got to have a smaller foot to do 30 grams. 30 grams per sock. I had shown that on another pair of socks that I had made that were 50 grams for the pair. And, you know, they were like a size 7 and very, very short on the, they weren't no-show, but they were very, very short. So that's my only thing on that. If you ever got the kit and you haven't used them yet, just, you might want to use contrasting stuff for your heel, toe, and cuffs. And the last thing that I worked on, my king size sweater. This is the Refracta sweater by Zanet Knits, and it's gorgeous. This one I am working with, let me grab my ball of yarn. Look at this. The Shippies. It's that yarn. It's that yarn. It's pretty. It's that yarn, right? And it is a light fingering weight yarn. And I'm using size 1 2½ millimeter needles. Right, so there is a difference between the two, right? The socks is 2 1/4. This is 2½ millimeter. And I'm working with it on the 2 colors right here. And I started from the center, the darker color here, and going out to the lighter. And this one I started from the light and I'm going into the dark. That's my 2 colors. We're gonna see how that works. And I am encouraged because we had one of the people who did the test knit, or one of the test knits for this sweater, said, so far it looks like I'm on track size-wise. Yay, that's cool. I'm excited about that. So I really appreciate that encouragement. Here we go. This is the back. Here is the front of that. And I did something I don't always do. I did use the stitch markers for every repeat, like she said, and it has made a difference. This is garter stitch. Look how pretty that is. Look how pretty that is turning out. That is so nice. So that is garter stitch. And the reason I call it my king size sweater is there's a lot of stitches in this. And it's akin to somebody going, hey, I'm excited. I'm going to make this blanket. I'm going to make this big, huge project. Socks are a big project, by the way. Socks are definitely a big project. They don't look like it, but they are. And you don't realize how many rows it is. You don't realize how big it's going to be. You don't realize all of these things. The fact that I'm working on a sweater for myself, I'm an XL, but a sweater for myself on size 2½ millimeter needles using a light fingering weight yarn just blows my mind. Now, I've done fingering weight sweaters for myself. I've done one for my husband who's larger than I am, but I've done it on size 4s. And there's a big difference between working on size 0 or size 1s and size 4s. It takes more rows to get size with size 1s. And when you're working in garter stitch is a short, fat stitch, more like a square. Each stitch is like this. If you're graphing out things as a knitter and looking at different patterns, the knit stitch or stockinette stitch is longer this way and short this way. So it's not a full square, but your garter stitch is. And it clearly stated in the pattern 30 ridges, not rows, ridges equals 4 inches. Well, a ridge in the garter stitch is 2 rows. That is that line, each line. Okay, so you get a little light purple line, the little lavender line, and a little green line, a little lavender line, a little green line. Each one of those is 2 rows. Yeah. So I think I couldn't have really picked a slower to make sweater. Is it complicated? Not particularly, but it's just going to be a slower process. It's going to be one of those that, oh, because I've increased. So my rows are like 400 and some odd stitches right now. And I need 2 of those to make one little line. Just one little line was 2 rows. And I'm like, oh, look, if I sit there and oh, I'm going to do 2,000 stitches on my sweater or whatever, I'm going to get not even 3 lines or whatever. You know what I'm getting at? I'm like, oh, that's, wow. So I really set myself up in this, but it's so pretty. And this yarn feels amazing. This is the first time for me using this yarn. Of course, I've seen it before. I've seen it online. It's just not one that I've personally purchased, had in my stash, had the opportunity to touch, oogle over, or use. I've definitely seen it with people making shawls and blankets and things, and anything that you would use like this yarn, right? This is Yarn Arts. Yarn Arts, Flowers, Moonlight. Moonlight's the shiny, shimmery stuff. But any of these cakes, right? These cakes make gorgeous shawls. They make great skirts. They make beautiful tops. They make gorgeous, beautiful things. And I've seen this particular yarn used in like for anything that you would see these types of things with. This is a bigger yarn. They both say fingering weight yarn, but they're both the similar yardage. Yeah. We can see there's a big difference in size with those two. This is 215 grams. This is 260 grams. They both have the same yardage. So there's going to be some differences. And that threw me. I did not expect this one to be smaller. I don't have a problem with smaller yarns. We know this. It just shocked me. It was just like, whoa, what I was originally planning on doing. Like, well, maybe I won't do that. I was planning on doing a blanket, and I had picked up 4 different colors, or at least I'd ordered 4 different colors. The orange never came in. That's okay. I got my money back. But I got the other 3 colors, and I'm like, okay, I just finally canceled the orange order because I had the other colors and I didn't really need the orange, right? That was what I was originally going to use, but not for the sweater. And then this sweater pattern came out, and I'm like, I want to do it. I want to do it. And I did the swatch with the size 2s that they recommended, and it wasn't good. Here's my swatch, right? And that's huge difference. It really is. So, you know, it's the same amount of knitting if I would have worked on it on 2s or 1s, you know, making the same size, right? But we can see that difference, right? That's a big difference. I know this is really, really light. I just wanted to see if the stitches were the same thing. But yeah, there we go. So those are all the things that I have worked on this week. And I'm really pleased with the progress on the socks, that it's not being left. I mean, we're still in June and I am working heavily on socks. We're not pushing October and I'm going, hey, look, I got 4 pairs to go. You know, that stresses me. Okay, stress is a little exaggerated, but I don't particularly like to be in that situation because I would like to make other things than just socks. Could I do it and get them done? Yes, I could. But there's so many other things that I like to make. Like, I didn't know I needed this. I did not know that I needed Phoebe in my life. I didn't. But after I went to Etsy, after I went to the Estes Wool Festival and I saw these books and I saw that, and it was a matter of not only did I get the books going, oh, that's cute. Wouldn't it be nice to make it? You know, and you know how we work like that and we don't actually make the thing. You know, not only did I do that, I actually wanted to cast it on and make it. So she jumped ahead of the queue. I had a bunch of things on the hooks and needles prior to going to Estes. She jumped the queue and she got done. I mean, she got done before the Hippo got done. And I started the Hippo in February. See what I'm getting at? So there are things that just jump the queue. that's just life. I think we're all like that to a certain extent, except for the people who do the monogamous crafting, which is fine. You do you. If that works for you, that would drive me batty. But then again, I think my chaotic way of handling things and working with them drives some people batty too. So it works out. We're all different. But I have different things that jump the queue. I have different stuff that goes on as far as that. And then I do crazy things like start this sweater. I have sweaters that I should be finishing, like the boho sweater, right? I should finish that. I mean, I just have a sleeve, only one. That's pretty cool. And then I've got other sweaters that need to be worked on. I mean, we know this. It's okay. Guess I'm saying I really like my yarn. I really like my yarn. I really like playing with all this stuff. I really like crafting and creating. That's really it. I like taking string, glorified yarn, right? Beautiful string, and creating something with it. I mean, who would have thought you make, and these look like shoes. You can make little baby shoes, little kid shoes. I mean, that is the coolest thing. You know, and if you wanted to get fancy, and I don't know, but you can put the little sole things at the bottom so they don't slip. And I think some other people have done, I don't know. Tell me what you've done. Okay, so I think you can use like the hot glue now, and then just make hot glue gun stripes and let that dry and everything, and then that'll help to be the skid resistant if you were to do that. You know, draw your little pattern on the bottom of the sole of the shoe. I think that's one way. If you have like scraps of leather or something like that, you can do that and sew the leather at the bottom. I like the glue idea because I have more of that. I have readily accessible as far as that with a glue stick. But tell me what you do that you can work with, because this is a child that's up and around. This is not baby, this size. So we don't want the baby to crash, right? So maybe some non-skid stuff wouldn't be bad. So I would appreciate any advice that you guys have on that, because that's not the, you know, you get the little tiny ones. The baby's not going to walk around or anything. They don't have to have all the special whatevers because they're not walking, right? This size, they're walking. Yeah, so I think that size needs something. All right, well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I've got plenty of crafting to go work on. I mean, I'm right there at the heel of this stripy sock, and I really want to see what the next stripe is. All right, with that, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. And I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.